Okay, so now let's go ahead and write our middleware that will be checking to see if our user is activated, and so to be able to prevent them from accessing our routes. So we want to shield or protect all of these routes that start with school. So school, schools, schools, and schools. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of these routes I want to protect. Okay, and I will protect these with a middleware that I will call require activated user. Okay, so let's go ahead and create that middleware. And so notice, because I will be wrapping my handlers, right, functions with the middleware, then I need to make sure that I change my types for my middleware. Okay, so normally my middleware would accept a handler and return a handler. Okay, but we want this middleware excuse me, to actually accept our handler function. Okay, so so we will check for active or activated user. Okay, so let's just go ahead and create this middleware. And so this middleware will be called require activated user. And this middleware will accept a parameter of type http.handlerfunc. Not handler, but handlerfunc. And so if you notice, all our handlers in routes.go, right, are functions, right? A function that takes a response writer and a request. So this means that we can simply pass in those handlers to this middleware and we're good to go. And what will this middleware do? Well, it will also return the same type because our router requires that. So it will return a handler func as well. Okay, so this is how we will be protecting our endpoints. And so we will simply return a handler func, so http.handlerfunc. Okay, so how do I create a handler func? Well, I simply create a function and I give it a w. Okay, and I give it an r. And that gives me a handler func. Okay, and that's all I need to do. So http. Okay, so this is my handler func, and what will I do in this middleware? Well, when the request comes in, remember the point of the middleware is to protect our endpoints. And so we are the middle person that actually will check the request. So let's get the user for this request. And so if you recall, we created something called a method called context get user. And so we're going to give it the request object r to see if there's any user in there. So if user that is anonymous, we know it's an anonymous user. And so we don't want anonymous users to be able to access our school's endpoint. And so we'll simply tell them app.authentication required response. Okay, and then we are done. Okay, now let's say that they are not an anonymous user, then they probably are a valid user. Now, are they activated? That's the question. So here, let's check for anonymous user. Okay, so now here we want to check if user is activated. Okay, that's easy enough. So if not user dot activated, meaning false, then of course we will tell them that they're forbidden. Okay, so we'll say inactive account response. Okay, and then we are done. And that's it. That's all our middleware does. All right, and so all we have to do now is to send or call the next handler in the chain, okay, and give it W and give it R. So next dot serve HTTP, right? And of course, we will simply send along W and R. Okay, great. That's it. So this handler is protecting our endpoints. Okay, so how do we use this handler? Well, it's rather straightforward. I'm going to go to our routes, and since it expects a handler func, which all of these are handler funcs, right? So list school handler is a handler func. School create handler is a handler func. So we can simply come here and we can simply say app dot require activated user, and then we'll wrap each of these around them. Okay, so that takes care of that. All right, so let me see if I get my okay, so I guess we made a mistake. Let's undo this. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so I'm going to put a space, and then I'm going to say app that require activated user. Okay, good. So I'm going to come here, and then I'm going to close this here. Okay, so let me just get the rest of this done. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste that. I'm going to paste that. There are 5 of them. There are 5 routes we need to protect. Okay. Okay, and there's one more. All right, so we're good to go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we don't want to protect health check. Okay, that should be available to everybody. So we leave that as is for now. Okay, so we only want to protect our actual data, our schools. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and we're good. So notice it returns a handler func. Okay, which is exactly what we need for our router to work. Okay, so the router expects a handler func. Okay, all right. So that is all we need to do. And in the next video, we will go ahead and we will test out our application to ensure that when we try to visit these endpoints, we actually get the right error responses and that the middleware actually protects our endpoints. I'll see you in that video.